I'm gonna have to redo that bitch. Damn, I don't know how I fucked that up.
Oh, damn.
No, just the low part. Try to get this real quick.
Ugh. Your wallet. That
Yeah, I'm doing the high part staying. I'm doing the low part. I'm basically not doubling, but I'm giving more up to the other part of the organ, the part that you like.
But is that oversaturated?
It's gonna sound too simple if I don't add more to it. So you hear the high part of the organ. I'm trying to make a low part, but I don't want to do exactly what the high part is doing, because it's part of beefing up. You see.
See how that extra it throws it off to me. I feel like that needs to be heard. That other shit
Okay, hold on. Let me solo mute this track. Actually, I think I heard the low part. So I don't need to make another low part. I brought it back somehow, I guess. So.
You see what I'm saying though?
You were saying it's too much. Yeah, because I was trying to bring the low part back, but I guess it's in there already. I just gotta find out where it's at. And then I'm gonna solo it, and then I'm gonna put it on Logic. So let me get rid of this.
See that? You hear that? It sounds like it's too much.
Like I need to turn it down?
I feel like you need to take it off. Cause that motherfucker hitting.
Well, what I might do is let me make sure I got everything on Logic, and then I'm gonna lightweight mix it, and then I'm gonna let you do your vocals.
What throws me off is that.
Yeah, but it's like
noise.
It's like theatrical though. Some stuff may sound like it don't fit just because it might be too loud or too low. So what I'm about to do is I'm gonna just make sure everything is on Logic, and then I'm gonna like lightweight mix, and then you can tell me from there. if it's still too much. But them stabs like make it theatrical. Let me see what this. I'm gonna look.
I don't know. Like, this just sounds like it's too much to me. Them stab that.
Let me get it all unlocked first. Okay, so I named this high organ, but actually it's both of the sounds together.
That's even hard.
The organ part.
Dum dum dum. But that, like somebody fucking tapping nails or some shit like that.
Okay. Well, give me a minute first. And if you still don't like it after what I do, I'll take it out.
Okay.
I could use it as an intro. Stabs just make stuff seem like theatrical, like something big happened, like you in the movie theaters, like, you know what I'm saying? But if, like I said, once I get it all in here, you don't like it, yeah. So let me see this track. This track is gonna be our low. Let me take the high out. Okay. So this should just be low. Yep. So now we go to the other track, the high organ track, and we're gonna take the lows out. Okay, so I must have not copied that right. Bring everything up. Basically just copying this track over and then renaming it something else on the new track and then taking out the stuff that I don't want. Yeah, like that feel like something you were seeing, like you were hearing the movie. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's how the flow is. Like the flow pattern.
Right.
But that
And see some horns, that's what I said from the very beginning when you was start rapping your verse, I was like, I heard some horns in here. Something theatrical, like the anthem, you know what I'm saying? So okay.
Saxophone in that motherfucker.
Right. So I'm gonna do that too later on. I'm gonna do that in Logic actually. So I pretty much got the organ sound the way I want to do. It sounds thirsty. So okay.
Hold my dick.
So this is our low organ. I separated the two. I'm just about done. So that was the low. This is the high, so I need to take that low out. Okay, so now I need to I need to record the lows. So let me go to the low organ I just made. Solo it. I had the wrong forgot to mute the last track. That's why you heard that piano. So I think we only got one more track to do, which is that plug-in from Novation, which is the Sway plug-in. So we gotta make a track for that on it, and then we're gonna record that. And then after that, I just gotta line everything up, and then we can loop it as much as we want to, and we're ready for our vocals. So that beeping noise you're hearing is our metronome. It should line up, but it's not. So what I'm going to have to do is scoot everything over so that everything lines up. Like I said, letting it loop over is perfectly fine. It might actually help. So let me see how many tracks I got on here. I got 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 8 tracks on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got more tracks on here. And it's because one of these tracks is a saxophone I'm going to play. It's an instrument plug-in on Logic. So that's fine. So I should have a high key. Got my high key. Got my low key. I have all my drum sounds, my hi-hat, my 808, I didn't have a kick, snare, okay, and high organ and low organ. Got that square synth sound, and then this last sound, so I pretty much should have everything. So let me play on here, it's gonna sound off beat. Let me play just to make sure I have everything on here. I'm gonna make sure everything's unsoloed. If I got everything, then the only thing left to do is line everything up and not loop it as I want to. And we're ready for our vocals. Yeah, so that's everything. So, what I can do, how I solo everything all at once, or how I mute everything all at once is what I really want to do. I hold option because that means multiple, and then hit the mute button, and it should have. Let me see, maybe it's command. Yeah, so it's command. My bad. Command, and I hit one button and it mutes everything. Or if I can hold down command and hit the S button, it solos everything. But I don't want to do that. I want to hit mute and just get the hi-hat. If I get the hi-hat set to where I want it to be, everything else is going to be pretty much, it's going to be easier to put everything else where I want it. So I'm going to unmute the hi-hat without holding command, just so I can unmute the hi-hat. You know, that's, it should match the metronome. And if you notice, as soon as the metronome come in, you don't hear the hi-hat. So we have to fix that. So what we're really going to do is we're going to slide everything over like this.
That's what's gonna make you.
We're going to be. I just moved the wrong thing. Pay attention. I need to move my hi-hat. So we zoom in. There's our way over here. The hi-hat, the kicker, usually what comes in first. So we want our hi-hat right at the beginning. So keep the metronome. You hear it, now it sounds on beat. With the metronome. that's all we had because we only had 8 bars.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't end exactly on here because the way I recorded it. So, but what I can do is, okay. So now we got our hi-hat where it needs to be. Next thing we need to do is put our 808. So let's go ahead and unsolo our 808. And I know the first part of it is probably, well, maybe it might be on beat. Because I tried to get on beat. We're doing this. So let's just see. That's obviously not on beat. So I'm going to have to move this. And I might have to redo this again. Doing it this way is tedious. But to me, it's faster. So yeah, it actually had that on there. I might not have to do a whole lot of cutting. You know, so get in close as you want. So now let's listen. Sounds good to me. So now we just now we just need to worry about our snare. Make sure our snare is on. Let's see. I don't think so. We might have got lucky. I think we got lucky. Okay, so our hi-hat is there, our snare is there, our 808's there, replacing our kick. Let's go ahead and see if our, I would say keys. Yeah, let's go ahead and make sure our keys on point. Your drums is always going to be louder in hip-hop.
Mm-hmm.
So the melody is next. So let's go and see if this piano is going to fit. I know it's not, but let's listen to it and see. Hey, man. Might be. Now, if we would have,
Look, like some parts sound like it's on beat and some parts sound a little off.
yeah. So I might have to fix that. I was listening to that. So let's zoom in. Now, your melody should line up with the rest of your drums, and we see right now that it don't. So let's go ahead and scoot it over because I was hearing the same thing over. Now you see that? That's the beginning of our melody. This is our snare. So let's listen and see if that helped. I scooted over to match the snare. No, right? Our melody is supposed to come in first, just like our drum. So, okay, let's do this. Let's stretch our melody back to where it was originally, and then try to scoot it over. Let's see what we got now. Nope. So I think what we had was originally was closer. Yeah, see, we end up cutting a wave out.
Cause like some of it was on point, and then some of them it went off.
Right, so it wasn't that off. And see, the way I'm doing it, you might have to play with it a while. But I like doing it this way versus exporting all your sounds into an SD card, which you can do, and then put it into your computer. And then if you do it just right in your MPC, you should be able to just put all your tracks in. Me and my experiences has not always worked for me, and so that's why I'm doing it this way. So there's multiple ways to do it. So that's obviously off again too. I may have cut a key out or so. And if you have to play with it too much, doing it the way I'm doing it, you might just go back and re-record it. But I'm gonna give it one more try. If not, I might just re-record it. So Command X will delete instead of undoing. We're gonna go ahead and that was the high key. So we're gonna go ahead and find the high key on here, and we're gonna re-record that. So this part. Sometimes it helps to hear the other tracks too. Like I'm pretty sure once we're done with this, it's on beat.
Like that.
But I did notice one thing though. I didn't have this tracked arm. I think I had another tracked arm. No, actually I didn't have any tracked arm, so that's cool. I remember that. So let's go ahead and redo it again, but make sure we got the right track arm, which is our high key track. That's why I say it's cool when you're doing this. Make sure you do your drums first, because they're gonna be the loudest, and it gives you something to reference off of, so you have a rhythm to go off of when you put in your other tracks. And that's really all we want, because like I said, in Logic we can loop it. So once we get all our tracks in Logic, so we're pretty much good with our drums. We got the first part of our melody, which is a high key. Let's see if we can get the low key on beat now. Or let's do it rather. We know we can do it. Let's make sure we're on beat. So I'm gonna just play it. Make sure we start at the beginning. It's on beat. So it's on beat. This is all raw, by the way. There's no effects on here whatsoever. The only effect I got is on my master track, which means it's affecting all these. And I'm just making this drum machine sound older than what it is, because it gives more punchiness to our kicks and our 808s. So now let's go on to the next track, which is high organ. And we got our low organ after that. And then our synth, our square synth. So let's go ahead and do our high organ. May or may not be on beat. If not, we're gonna have to scoot it up. Now, you got real good ears. You hear some parts is off, but that's because I did not put it to the grid like I did my drums. So to give it a human feel, humans are not perfect, so we mess up in some parts. So instead of giving a robotical feel by having everything by the grid, some elements I will leave off of the grid on purpose. If it's too much, you have to redo it. But in this case, let's see. You tell me if it's too much or not. So does that sound good to you?
It don't sound like it don't sound off at all.
Okay. I hear parts where it is off, but I did that on purpose to make it sound more humanistic and not everything just robotic. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so we did our low organ. We got our drums on point. Our low organ and our high organ is good. The only thing left to do now is make sure the synth sound that we got is on beat. Now, once you get everything on beat in Logic, like I said, you can loop everything to organize your track. So you make your chorus the way that your chorus is gonna be. So usually when you have a chorus, all the elements of your song is on your chorus. It's the loudest part of your song. It's the most where stuff is happening. You know what I'm saying? It's the most energetic part of your songs. People call it the hook, but a hook is just something that catches your ear. So a hook can be in your verse or anywhere, really. It's something that people hear all the time that just makes them repeat it over and over. That's a hook. A hook and a chorus is not exactly the same thing. So, but in your chorus is usually where everything that you have is that's gonna happen in the song is happening in the chorus. So I build my chorus first because that's the hardest thing to do, the part of building the song. So once you got your chorus together, then when you get ready to do your verse and your outro and intro, you can start taking away stuff from your verse to make the other sections of the song. So now we need to make sure our synth is on beat. And if our synth is on beat, we're ready to lay our vocals. And then after we get everything that we want recorded, then we do our mixing and our mastering. This is the very last thing. So let's go ahead and
you know how you said humans not perfect.
Right.
You said the beat got to be like kind of off sometimes.
Some people, everything they do is on the grid. But like when you're doing stuff like soul samples, or you're doing like anthems, or I mean any beat really could just to me it benefits having that human feel. When everything's just like to the grid all the way, it just sounds too robotical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In humans, music is an emotion. It's a feeling. It's a feeling we have. So we tend to. I can. What's the word? I can identify more with the human feel than I can a robotic feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can say something to me and it impact me in a way that Siri can't.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So having everything like on the grid, it'll sound good, but at the same time, it's not gonna have the same feeling as if I go back and listen to something that's been made in the 1970s or 1960s. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have that
naturalness out of it.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, take the naturalness out of it. So
is it do it have any type of like is that related to like hypnosis, as far as the being off grid, or the naturalness of the sound? Like, is that some sort of hypnosis?
I feel like hypnosis has elements of. Well, I mean, everything has elements of vibration.
Okay.
So that's gonna hypnosis. I mean, if you ever watch that, and I don't know a whole lot about hypnosis, but if you ever watch that movie, if you ever watched the movie Get Out, when she was circling around her T, it made a noise, and then she tapped the T, and it locked everything what she was doing in. It's vibrations. If you think about, I don't like to get real religious with people because everybody think different and everybody think they know the answers. But if you read the beginning of Genesis, how did God make the world?
He spoke.
He spoke it to us. What happens when we hear noise? What is that? What creates noise?
Vibration.
You see what I'm saying? So everything that happens or don't happen plays a part in everything, to be simplistic. So I don't know a whole lot about hypnosis, but I do recognize
you know how some songs like you hear it and like it catch on like the hook, a catchy hook. Like what comes to the top of my head is that Hannah Montana. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's
it's like
a cadence.
hypnosis.
That's a cadence. You put any words there, and it's gonna sound good because the cadence, the feel of it, and then how it was portrayed. Like a lot of people want to debate whether or not Tupac was a super lyrical person. Me, as a rapper and a producer, I wouldn't say he was a super lyrical person, but I would say that he knew how to portray the emotions he wanted to portray out because he was a trained actor. You can't take that from Pac. He was a trained actor, so he knew how to portray different emotions within his art. And how he said stuff, and you hear it all the time, different from different people. How he said it made you feel like, like whoever he beefing with is in the studio with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He talking like he face to face with somebody. So he's portraying an emotion. You know, that's a vibe. It's a vibration. So like with music, it's vibrations. All these tracks is a different vibration. But we want to portray, with our art, we want to portray something. If you a painter, a drawer, whatever you're doing, you're portraying something and you want to get that point across. So everything you do counts. And so like I said, music, you want to portray an emotion. What are you talking about in your track? What point are you trying to get across in your track? Something sad, something uplifting, something negative, something like tear the club up type stuff. It's an emotion. And so the emotion that I'm trying to portray here is a closeness. Whatever the topic is, I'm trying to make it seem like I'm right next to you. And doing that is, for me to get on your level, I have to be human. I have to be vulnerable. I have to be on guard. You know, it's times that as a human, you have to protect yourself. I'm trying to portray everything like I'm your brother. I'm someone that you can connect to. I'm someone that you can relate to. And so, yeah, being on grid all the time, yeah, it may sound good, but it's not gonna impact. Like if you hear something from like the 70s on back, they didn't have quantization where they was on beat, or if they did, they didn't utilize it. So like you're gonna hear parts where it's like it's on beat, but it's kind of not on beat. You know what I'm saying? So when I make my beats, a lot of it may be on grid, but it's gonna be like 2 or 3 elements that's not, just to give you that human feel, that natural feel. You feel what I'm saying? So, cause I don't want you just to hear me. I want you to feel me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a piece of gear that's out right now that it's a different way of listening. So you're not just listening to speakers, but it's a vest that you can put on where you can hear different frequencies in your chest or in your back, so you can actually feel what you're listening to. So when I create music, I have that in mind. Some stuff is gonna be on grid. A lot of stuff might be on grid, but it's gonna be some stuff that's not. It's just gonna come out of nowhere. And Adobe Atmos right now is a new project right now that where you're not just listening to left and right no more. You're listening from beneath you. You're listening from above you. Listening from behind you. That way to give you more rounded feel, to hear things like how we really feel. We put headphones on. We just hearing stuff left, right, and in the middle. But in the real world, you may hear something down the street that way, cat a corner. You know what I'm saying? You may hear something right in front of you. You may hear somebody right next to you. So the technology that's coming out now is like trying to get things more realistic, more rounded, more a 3D sound. So when I make my music, I may not be exactly like that right now, but eventually that's what I'm gonna go towards, because I want you to feel me, not just hear me. You know. So let's go back to the beginning. See, all these tracks got different links, but they should all be on the same link.
Is all of them playing right now?
It should be 8 bars. So you see that 9 right there? You use this tool to scoot everything over to that bar that we need. So that way when we loop it, they all be the same link.
Is all the instruments playing right now?
Yeah. I think we got the synth and the. All we really had is keyboards.
I didn't hear that drums.
So right now I'm gonna put the loop tool on. See that yellow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that to 8 bars because that's how all these should be. I'm gonna loop it. I'm gonna take this.
don't sound bad. It just sound like that. It's too much sounds. Is it a way you?
That's the chorus. It's gonna be.
Is it a way you could mute that? Like that tapping and hitting it. Cause I want to hear what it sound like without the tapping.
So the intro's gonna have maybe like 1, 2 sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4, maybe 8 bars. But you want your bars kind of short because everybody's attention span.
Yeah.
I guess they say it's short. So
right.
Instead of a long intro, we're gonna have maybe like a 4-bar intro, maybe. Then everything's gonna build up into a chorus or build up into a verse. If it's gonna build up to a verse, it's not gonna build up a whole lot. If you're gonna build up to a chorus, you kind of wanted to build up a lot. So, but what I'm gonna do is,
I want it to build up to a chorus, like a starting off with the verse.
The whole song gonna build up too.
But see, okay, look, play it with the tapping and then play it without the tapping.
But see, look,
I want you to hear the difference.
When your verse go into your chorus, you don't want to just be little to nothing and then boom, a whole lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So what I might do is towards the end of your verse, bring that.
That's perfect. That's perfect. But starting off, start it off without the tapping.
But see, what I might do is for the intro, I might just play keys.
Uh-huh.
I might just freestyle some keys. Maybe, if you think that'd be cool.
I gotta hear it.
Like for the first 2 bars, because I said 4 bars. The first 2 bars just have keys, and then maybe the second bar start putting some bass in.
I would have to hear it.
Or maybe stabs that you don't like. Or maybe stabs.
It's just starting off with the they don't sound right to me.
Okay, so give me like 2 seconds. Let me throw this away. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
That I like how it came in that off the rip. And then at the end, when you say like when it transitions into the hook, then that because that'll be something different.
Okay, let me work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch this out to like 32 bars maybe. If I need to change it later, I'll do it. And I want to make sure before you loop that all your tracks is the same length. So let's do that first before I do that. Because if you don't, it won't loop right. So all these should be 8 bars perfectly. So once we have our 8 bars or our 4 bars, however the length of the track is supposed to be, which is 8. Once they're all the same length, and I'll go to loop them all, they're going to be the same length and you have a perfect loop. But see, like if we can see, they're not all the same length. That's why I said, even if you go over the length, when you're putting it in the Logic, go over the length, it's fine, you can cut it. But if you don't have enough space, then you're gonna have to try to like make up for the space and see. Hold on.
Let me talk shit real quick. Man, do you see? This is music theory. You feel me? Music theory. It's a science to this. It's more than just getting on the beat, rapping. You feel me? We dissecting all the instruments of the beat. You feel me? And creating a masterpiece. You understand me? But I like that. I like how it can, when it come in and then you can bring it back once it's time to go into the hook.
I'm gonna do my stuff. You'll see. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build. You don't want to have like a loop the whole song. The song sound the same the whole way through. That's boring. So you want to have elements that you bring in and that you bring out. Sometimes you might have one little sound that come in just one little spot of the song, but you want to have movement so it's not just boring. You want to escalate, just like you was in a relationship. You want to escalate things till you get that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm doing. And you know what I'm saying, it might not sound the sound that you talking about. It might not sound good the whole song, but it might be a part in there that helps it gain momentum. And so all the tracks are pretty much the same right now as one track that I did too short. So what I'm gonna do is command and copy it, and then I'm gonna paste it and make it a little bit longer, and then just cut what I need out of there. So I'm doing that right now. And y'all gotta bear with me because the tools and Logic is a little different than Pro Tools, and that's what I've been used to. I've been dealing with Pro Tools for years and years and years. But I really am starting to like Logic, so that's what I'm trying to deal with right now. So y'all gotta bear with me.
Hey, Day, get some beats from this nigga, man. I'm telling you, they go hard.
He got one from me. He better use it before I get it back from him.
But I like that.
Yes, sir. We gonna figure it out. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm still trying to figure this out, y'all. So I can't loop it no further than what I've already got. So what I'm trying to do is add an extra link to it. And I'm gonna need a different tool for that. So you got all these different tools. You might want to come look at this. So you got the pointer tool that just looks like a regular mouse. Then you got a pencil tool where you can draw in like automation. That's something I ain't really touched on yet. So like automation is basically like controlling when stuff happens. So like, say we got a EQ or a compressor or a reverb on the whole song, but we don't want it on one spot. So what we do is we can use automation to go ahead and take it out when we want it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all automation is. It's like basically putting an effect in, but at the time that you wanted to put it in. And you can actually listen to it and then turn the effect while you listening to it and automate it in. Or you can use a pencil tool and draw it where you want it to come in at. It's really handy. I think it's easier than the first thing I told you. So
I'm ready to cook.
Automation select tools. So yeah, all these tools, scissor tools. Of course, you know scissors to cut something.
Mm-hmm.
So all your tools is up here. Pointer tool. So when I recorded this into Logic, I recorded it in a little shorter than the 8 bars, but I wanted it to be the same length as the rest of the tracks. So I'm trying to figure out what tool I need to do that. And as you see the pencil tool, that's not it. So what I might actually do, and I know there's probably a better way to do it than this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record nothing, just to give me that extra space that I need. So I'm gonna arm this track. Oh no, it's the wrong track. I'm gonna arm the track that I need. And then we're going to start recording from here just to give us that length. And so, but hold on. When I do that, I need to make sure I'm not looping anything. So I need to make sure that yellow bar goes away in Logic. So now let me go back to the part that I wanted to record in, which is at the end of our... Shouldn't have nothing there. Okay, where was I at? Oh yeah, our high key. Our high key is a little too short. Where we're supposed to loop at, I didn't loop it right because I stopped it too early. and so there's a gap, and it's not as long as the other tracks. Which all the other tracks are different lengths too. I had to shorten them to get them all the same length. So, but even still, our high key track is still too short for me to have it the same length as the others. So, like if I had, if it was long enough, I was able to use our loop tool and just loop it to the desired area. But it being too short, I can't do that. So I'm having to find the end of that track, and the only thing I can think of, because like I said, I'm not too familiar with Logic. The only thing I can think of is just recording an empty spot right there, and yeah, resizing the tray. I'm a add on to the spot that's empty, and then I'm gonna merge it by Command J. Command J is gonna merge it together, and then there'll be one track, and then it'll be the same length. So I'm gonna go overboard with it. I'm gonna record a little bit. Okay, so now we got a longer spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using my trim tool to trim it to the 8 bars that I need. And I'm gonna zoom in to make sure I'm right where I need to be with the rest of them. Some of them need to come out more. It's very important you get all these tracks the same length. That way when you loop your stuff together, you loop it as many times as you want to, and everything will still be on beat. Somehow, I don't know this.
That one right there was off.
Yeah, that's the one I just did. I'm gonna go back. This track should be written on this track right here. I didn't record that. I don't know why that's there. I might have to figure that out later. But anyway, all these tracks are pretty much the same length. I'm gonna zoom in to make sure they're on the same length. Like I said, you get everything on point when you go to loop. You can loop as much as times you want to. It's gonna be on beat. As long as you got the tempo, the same tempo of the drum machine, or like I got my MPC, is the same. It's gonna be on beat. So I don't like on mine is not. I'm gonna fix it. And that's all I'm doing right now. Making sure everything is from the beginning of the track to the end of the track is the same. Now, boom, we accomplished that. So now let me put my loop tool back on, and let's play it and make sure that it's all on beat. I'm trying not to yeah, start from the beginning. Yeah, so yeah, I haven't organized things yet, but I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this I'm gonna add totally different keys. But what I want to do, okay, and this is another thing too. So remember we added an empty noise right here to make that one track long. Mm-hmm. So but we wanted that to be one whole track. So how we do that, I'm gonna take a different tool, and this is what I don't like. I don't know if in Logic you're able to highlight all the tools at once and just put the marker at a different level. It seems like you can kind of do that. Maybe I'm just ignorant to it, but on Pro Tools, I can highlight all these tools, and then based on where I put it, like I can kind of see Logic kind of doing it. Based on where I put it, it changes the tool. So I want a tool where I can highlight everything. I might need the pointer tool. So I want to hit Command J, because there's a little space at the end of one of these tracks. Boom. It's all one track. One more gap. Right? Okay, so Command S is how you save. What are we saying the name is? TikTok. Make sure all your stuff is organized. Make sure you constantly save. In this case, a power outage or anything happens, everything is saved. Or you do something and you can't edit undo, you can just close the session down, bring it back up without saving it. So that way the older version that you saved can be right where you was at before you messed up. You always want to Command S is the shortcut to save. Okay, so we got our loop. Only thing left to do now is to take stuff out to get our intro and our outro and our verse and our chorus. But I always start with the chorus because the chorus is going to be the loudest, it's going to have the most instruments, it's going to have all the sounds. So once we get our chorus, the only thing left to do is to take away from our chorus and get our other elements in our song, our sections. So usually intros anywhere from 4 bars to 8 bars, usually in hip hop. So I'm gonna scoot all this over. Make sure I have everything highlighted. Then I'm gonna scoot it over to give us these 4 bars where there's nothing going on. So I'm gonna play this with the metronome to give you an idea what's going on. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 bars right there. Just count it out for you. So the next thing to do is to add our intro, which I'm gonna make a separate track for an intro. I'm gonna just play around until I find something that goes with it. So I don't know, something like.
Dude, I'm gonna write some more. Hey, nigga, we in the trenches. How can I cut this shit off?